Good morning, class. Thought I'd give a brief video about the research paper proposal that's going to be coming up here in a couple weeks. Um, Talk a little bit, walk you through that. It should be one of the easiest assignments that we do this semester. Of course, the next part of the research paper, which deals with the annotated bibs, I will do a video on that. So you sort of go from the easiest, which would be the proposal, to one of the more challenging, which would be the sets of the annotated bibs. But again, I will sort of walk you through how to do both. Today, we're really just going to focus on the proposal part of it. Because the proposal is going to be really easy once you decide what your research paper topic is going to be. So just real quick to kind of look at the overall, remember these page numbers 141 through 171 are actually in your course textbook, your e-textbook. So again, if you click up here in the corner where it says course textbook, it'll basically take you there. It's a PDF file. Notice though it is, right, it's, let's see how many pages this is. It's a little lengthy this time, but it deals a lot with the research process. Some of this you may already know. It's about 30 pages. What I would probably suggest you to do with that, if you can't really devote yourself to sit down and read 30 pages all this week, split it up, because like I said, the research project's going to cover the rest of pretty much that last week of October, all of November, and one little sliver of December. So you have time. So if you can only do like 5 pages this week, 5 pages that next week, just divide those 30 pages up over a number of couple weeks. Some of this stuff you may know from previous English classes. If you watch the guided library orientation video and did the post and pretest deal last week to get the first set of 10 extra credit points, that would be beneficial. It may have enlightened you there, so you could probably kind of gloss or skip over some of the pages in the actual e-text. If you look at this, and I sent out an email and an announcement, because everybody's schedule is sort of just all over the place, and I'm dealing with 3 other online courses, I just thought I'd do a brief MLA workshop. It's fairly quick, and I apologize for that because Prezi only allows you to basically talk for 15 minutes. I just can't, go any further than 15. Over the next several weeks, though, I'm going to give you videos, I'm going to give you handouts, I'm going to give you additional information that's going to supplement what you go through and watch. So again, this is your second opportunity to get 10 extra credit points. You watch this, it's about 15 minutes, give or take. There's a tracker on, so I can actually go through, basically go up here and run, right? I can see the progress, I can see the reports, I can see basically who watched it, how long they watched it, which day they watched it, and I'll be checking that as it gets closer to this coming Monday. So if you did it, you basically get those 10 extra credit points. And again, what I've been telling my students about that, originally I said I'd put, the pre-test, post-test, library orientation stuff, those 10 points on essay 3, and then I would do this workshop on essay 4. So what I would do, because we have essay 1, 2, 3, and 4 at this point, if you had a lower grade before essay 3 and 4, let's say essay 1 wasn't great, and you want your 10 points to go there, I can put some 10 points there, I can put some 10 points in essay 2. You just need to let me know where you want these 10 points, either essay 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, granted, some of y'all didn't even do the first extra credit assignment, and at this point, it's sort of beyond that point. We can't go back and do it. So if you want extra credit, this is going to be your last chance to get extra credit. So just let me know. Otherwise, I would just pick for you. And, in all honestly, all 4 of those essays sort of collectively average out the long scheme of things. So it really doesn't matter where I put those 10 points, or if you have 20 points, if you did both of them. I just can't put 20 points on one particular essay. I have to split it up. So if you want me to, and I guess in the same fashion, if there's a peer review that you didn't do so well on, weighted wise, it doesn't weigh as much as an essay, but if you want me to put some points there, I can. You just got to let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to randomly start doing that as it gets closer to the end of the semester so I don't forget. The other thing, remember your persuasive essay. I did a video on that last week. It's due in 5 days. So make sure that you get that. There's a Dropbox here. And what we're going to look at real quick is we're going to look at the proposal. To be able to really understand the proposal, you're going to need to click and look at our research paper topics. So I'm going to bring these up. I'm not going to read these because I know there's a lot of them. But I'm just going to kind of look at the guidelines here and then go from there. So if you look here, this is basically Essay 5. This is going to be sort of the bigger extended project that's going to take a good bit of our time, especially throughout the month of November, with the other two components, one being the proposal and then the annotated bib sets, which there's going to be 3 of those. So the format again is going to be MLA 9 double space Times New Roman 12. This particular research paper needs to be 7 pages or 1750 words plus a word sided page. So 7 full pages, and then your works cited page would be on page 8. You will need to do keyword as research. So you need to get 6 scholarly sources, 2 scholarly websites or articles, and then the other 4, 2 scholarly books and 2 scholarly journal articles, must come from some sort of a library, whether it's a high school library, public library, or a college library. That was the whole purpose of doing the whole pre and post test with that library orientation video, is to get you used to using Galileo and some of the databases to be able to do this academic research, because you just can't use Wikipedia, or you can't just use some random website that doesn't really have any credibility to it. You need to use academic scholarly stuff. This particular final draft isn't due until 11:59 on Sunday, December 4th. So we do have some time. I wouldn't wait until December 2nd to do this, because again, this thing is going to build. We do have the proposal due here in another week or so, and then you have the 3 annotated bib sets, which deals with these 6 sources. So you can't really, sleep on this one. You're going to have to turn something in basically every week that we have class. So make sure that you keep up the due dates, because, at this point in November, there's just no really way to slow down or to redo or make up. We just don't have time. We got to keep moving on. Otherwise, you're going to bog yourself down. And this is the critical point, especially when it comes to grades. Midterm grades will go out on Thursday of this week. So whatever your weighted total shows, that's the grade that you're going to get. So just make sure that you're not racking up a lot of zeros, because if you get 3 or more zeros, you're basically failing the class. Some of you with 2 zeros at this point would fail the class. So please don't rack up zeros. You have nearly 20 topics here. The first 19 deal with current event related type topics. You will find 6 sources if you go out and start doing the research. Number 20 is basically a writer's choice. If you have another topic, you don't like the 19 that I have, then please email me before you start actually doing any of this stuff. So I know that you're going to have enough to fulfill the 7-page requirement and get the 6 scholarly sources. So once you pick a particular topic, because you're going to have to pick a topic first to be able to do the proposal. The proposal, on the other hand, is, like I said, it should be a really easy assignment if you follow the instructions. So let me pull this over. This is due on October 30th, which is a Sunday, 11:59. Again, you need to use MLA 9 format, double space, Times New Roman. Really, this needs to be as long as it needs to be. Generally, if you look at this example, this is about the length. So it's anywhere from about a page to 2 pages. So we're thinking 250 to 500 words at most. You have 5 questions. Each one of these 5 questions are worth 20 points. So roughly a paragraph, a short paragraph per question. I give you some hints. If you read that, would be the best way to approach it. So number 1, what is your thesis or research question, the thing about your topic you want to find out? Your topic must be opinionated and well phrased and formulated rather than a petty observation about your topic. 2, how do you plan to support this thesis/research question? 3, what 6 outside scholarly sources do you plan to use? And again, if you look at the hint, I know this is going to be due on the 30th, which is another week or so. I know by that time you're probably not going to find all 6, but I would at least try to find 3 reliable, scholarly, credible sources. So probably what I would do there is maybe 1 book, 1 journal article, and 1 website, because then you can just piggyback and go off of those for this particular assignment. That will already help you with the annotated bibs coming up, because you at least found 3. You only have to go back and find the other 3 additional sources to help you with that annotated bib project, which we will be talking about soon enough. Number 4, what is the best source at this stage? What makes it the best source? What sources do you think you might need? And again, look at these hints, kind of give you some feedback there. And then the last question, what is the whole point of the topic? So when you type it out, it's going to look sort of like this. Then you're going to have your last name and your page number in the top right-hand corner. I just can't really do that with this example and have the assignment sheet. But it looks basically like this. You're going to have your header. You need to have some sort of tentative title of your research paper. Now, again, tentative title means it's going to probably change between now and what, December 4th, I think, is when the actual research paper was due again. So just have some kind of tentative title. And then if you look here, if you look at the stuff I put in the margins, basically each one of these paragraphs is the answer to these questions. And I go in order. So the answer to number 1 is the first paragraph here. The answer to number 2 is the second paragraph. The answer to number 3 is the third paragraph. The answer to number 4 is the fourth paragraph. And then my final answer is this 5th paragraph. So basically, if you look at it, you're basically giving me sort of like a 5-paragraph essay. But you're doing so by basing your answer or your paragraph answers off of these questions. And that's all you need to do for the proposal. It should be hopefully that easy, that simple. It really shouldn't take you too much time. Once you have a research paper topic, it should, this should start to flow through if you're able to really answer these questions based on that topic. You should be able to knock this probably out within, a half a day. And that's, doing, picking a topic, doing a little bit of research, proofreading, editing, and typing. I'm looking at, for most students, this probably will take, less than 6 hours to get everything sort of wrapped up and done. It probably won't even take you that long, but if I was going to guess, it'd probably take you about a whole 6 hours. For most, it'd probably only take about maybe 2 to get, to pick something, to answer these questions, to type them up, to do the rough drafts, proofread and edit your own work. Again, you can send this stuff to me if you want me to look at it before turning it in on the 30th. I would probably suggest that you send it to Smart Thinking first. Let them know what it is, because they may try to, read it as being an essay, and it's not really an essay, it's a research paper proposal. So let them know that up front, so they're not telling you, hey, it's too short, or if it's this or that. So once you get the feedback from them, correct that, basically, correct those suggestions and that feedback that they give you, and then send me a draft. And then I will look at it and give you some feedback, because really you probably only need maybe 1 or 2 drafts of this. This is something that you don't need to spend a whole lot of time, unless you just have a lot of grammatical errors, or if you can't answer these 5 questions. It really should be a quick, easy way to earn a really good grade on this, and you shouldn't have to take a whole lot of time by doing so. All right, so I'm going to end it there, because I'm going to do my last part of the MLA 9 workshop in-person deal here momentarily. But again, if you didn't watch this guided library orientation, you can still watch the video. You're just not going to be able to get the extra credit from last week. I would definitely watch that, especially if you need help learning how to check out books, get stuff from other libraries, use databases, use Galileo, that type of stuff. I would check to look at, quality research papers. And this is I give you a little bit of insight on what the next particular section of your research paper or component is. Really more or less a component of your research paper, which is the annotated bibs. Again, that's a little bit more technical. and I give you the 3 due dates because you deal with the first set, which would be your 2 scholarly websites. That's going to be due by November 6th. Your 2 scholarly journal articles, that set's going to be due by the 13th. And then 2 scholarly books, which is going to be your final or set 3. That's due the 20th, which is basically the week that we go into Thanksgiving. When we come back from Thanksgiving, you basically have like 2.5 weeks to do the wrap up the research paper, and then do your last essay, which would be essay 6, which is going to be a self-reflection, and you're going to have to do that through ProctorU. So we're going to talk a little bit more about ProctorU as it gets closer to Thanksgiving, but you're going to need to set up a ProctorU account. It's free. You're going to have to create your own username and password. You need a working, obviously you need a working computer with updated information, updated Microsoft Word. You're going to need a working webcam and web mic because both of those will need to be turned on because somebody on the other side are going to be proctoring you through that particular program. All right, I'm going to end that there. I hope everybody has a good rest of the week, and I will talk to you soon as it relates to the annotated bib stuff coming up in another week or so. Have a great one.